Hey, it's Ben here from the Strength Factory, and today I'm going to talk to you about polarized training and why I think it's a great place for most riders to start from when you're looking to plan your training journey. First of all, let's start by just quickly explaining what is polarized training. Well, the name polarized gives it away. So we're talking about doing most of your training at the two polar opposite ends of the intensity sort of spectrum. Okay, so if you can imagine, I've got like slow endurance work at this end and really hard high intensity interval training at this end. With the polarized approach, you're going to spend most of your time here doing the low level endurance work, and then a small amount of your time at this end doing the high intensity work, and you're going to spend very little time in the middle here. Now, like anything, there's pros and cons to any training approach, and you know, I'm not saying that this is the very best way, okay, but I believe that for most people this is a great place to start with organized and properly structured training. And this is the approach that I use in all of my online programs, and when I start coaching someone, this is basically what I start with, and then we can go from there. So then let's start by talking about those two ends of the polarized training spectrum. Well, the first end is that low level base training, endurance training, aerobic training, whatever you want to call it. And these are the easy miles that literally build the base of your fitness. They develop your aerobic system, which then supports all other parts of your on and off bike fitness, as well as your health. So remember, if you are a racer, okay, or if you're just someone who likes to ride pretty hard and you want to be fit, then the bigger that aerobic base, the greater the potential it gives you to be fit across the whole training spectrum. So it enables you to repeat efforts. It enables you to recover quickly after hard anaerobic and short efforts. It also helps to improve your performance over those shorter efforts, even though you've just been training at that low intensity, okay? What that aerobic base does is it does exactly what it says on the tin. It acts as like the base, the foundations for all the rest of your performance and fitness. Hey guys, just a really quick message to say that I've been putting loads of effort into these videos, and I hope that you're noticing it, hope you're appreciating it. And you know what I would really appreciate is if you just share this, get it out there, help me to grow this channel, help me to reach more people with just straightforward, straight talking training advice. While you're there, give us a little like, a little thumbs up like that. Make sure if you haven't already, then you really should subscribe. The other part then is the real gut wrenching part, is the super high intensity interval training, okay, where we're going for like 1 to 3 minutes or whatever it is, and they need to be super intense. They need to be really hard, okay? So number one, you need to be fresh when you come to do that session, okay? And number two, you're gonna need to recover well after that session. And number three, it's gonna take some motivation. And part of what that really hard training is gonna do is gonna help to build that mental toughness, that resilience, okay, to grit your teeth and suffer on, basically, which I think is a good life skill, as well as preparing you really well for racing. But we're only looking to do these sessions like once or twice a week. You might start with just once. And if you're new to training, you're going to make really good progress if they're intense enough, okay? If the intensity is too low, we start wandering into this middle ground, this no man's land, where yes, we're going to get some fitness, especially if you're new to training, but you're not getting the maximum bang for your buck and bang for your time, because like we just talked about, loads of you are short on time. So if we're like really strictly talking about doing polarized training, then the really bad news and the drawback of this is that the biggest enemy of polarized training is a group ride. Like, I'm sorry, and I hate it, okay? And this is like the biggest drawback, okay? Because generally you go for a group ride and you spend all your time here. You do a little bit there, maybe on the road sections in between or at the start or the end, and then you do a few efforts here, but nearly your whole ride is spent in the middle here, okay? And so if you're really trying to follow a regimented, structured plan, then the group ride isn't helpful. But we're mountain bikers and riding is all about having fun, and the group ride is where you get off-road, it's where you develop your skills. So I'm absolutely not telling you to do those rides. But the great thing is that, you know, yes, you don't need to really do much work in the middle here, but the group ride just achieves that for you naturally. Okay, so you don't need to focus on those threshold or sweet spot sessions or anything like that. You can do your structured sessions on your own or with a training buddy, and then that group ride naturally takes care of the middle ground, and you can still enjoy doing that work anyway and still have the benefits of the broader training program. So I've given you an overview of what polarized training is, a bit of an idea about how to go about doing it, but I probably haven't really sold it that much yet. Okay, why do I recommend this structure of training? And for me, the first reason is probably the most important one, is that it's really effective. Okay, it's been shown time and time again when you look at the studies. It's been shown time and time again when I coach people. This approach works, and it works whether you are short on time and can't get all the aerobic based training that you might like and can't get as much riding as you like. And it also works at the other end of the spectrum with my pro riders who they've got loads of time to ride, and it's effective for them, and I believe it's effective across a really broad spectrum of people. Remember, I'm not saying that threshold work and threshold intervals aren't important, and sometimes I use them because apart from anything, it's good to get a variety of training stimulus. But on the whole, this polarized training approach is really effective for just such a wide range of people, and too many people are spending too long in the middle here. You know, that's where your group ride is. If you go riding on your own without really thinking about it, that's where most of that riding is. You never do this intensity up here, and you never do the easy aerobic work down there. And that is where you're missing a massive bulk of your potential to become a faster, fitter, better all-round rider. And that is where polarized training comes in. If you're watching this just after I've made it, we're coming out of lockdown here in the UK in a few weeks, fingers crossed, and the sun's just come out, and there's gonna be loads of people who've been thinking about training all winter and you've done nothing. Who cares? Look, I'm not gonna tell you off. Now's the time. Let's seize the moment. Let's start by doing some structured training, okay? Either on your own or jump onto one of my online programs like the Complete Mountain Bike Programme, where I take all the guesswork out of it because I basically give it all to you, okay? Map it all out so you take a polarized training approach, so you get a good volume of aerobic work in, you get some intensity, and you're gonna watch your fitness go through the roof. So there we go, a real short overview of the polarized training system. I'd love to hear your thoughts on it, and if you've got any questions, make sure you leave them in the comments below, and I'll make sure that I get back to every single one of you. You know what else would be awesome? You know what to do. Give me that like and subscribe. Share this with some riding buddies, okay? Maybe get a little crew together and start doing some training. And most importantly, have fun, ride your bike, still do the group rides, but have a little discipline, do the hard work, and I promise you're going to be thanking me when the summer rolls round.